understand that what we dealt with was nothing else but flesh and blood space travelers instead of real or actual gods.
But why did the Maya believe they were connected to the gods by blood? Might there have been evidence within their DNA that could link the lineage of Maya kings to otherworldly beings, as ancient astronaut theorists believe? And if so, is it possible that otherworldly visitors may have stayed behind and assumed the role of Maya kings? Perhaps the answer can be found, not by examining the ancient remains of the Maya, but by studying their creation myths. Chicago, Illinois. Housed here in the Newberry Library is the Mayan manuscript known as the Popol Vuh. Literally translated as the Book of the People, it is a collection of Maya oral histories passed on through the ages. Written in the mid-16th century, this incredible book encompasses a range of subjects, including those involving Mayan creation myths.
The Popol Vuh talks about the creation of the universe. It talks about the fact that in the beginning all was darkness, there was a primordial sea. And then these creators, male and female, spoke the word. And with the word, the earth was created and animals were created.
It's sort of like the combination of the book of Genesis and the book of Chronicles in the Bible. It's a story of battles between the gods, and then it connects the creation of the world with the present day through the kings of the Quiche. It's really the only complete Maya creation myth that we have.
What they were saying was that a framework was created, that certain deities manifested themselves physically and made decisions as to what was going to happen. In the case of the Mayans, this was a choice as to where the Mayans were going to live, as well as the selection of certain sacred sites.
Throughout the ancient world, there have been numerous similar myths of otherworldly beings coming to Earth and interacting with some of the earliest humans. Most mainstream historians believe these stories represent only religious and spiritual beliefs. But is it possible, as ancient astronaut theorists believe, that the Popol Vuh, as well as other ancient creation tales, represents actual evidence of contact with extraterrestrials in the distant past? According to the translations of hieroglyphs found at numerous ancient Mayan cities, Kukulkan, or the Great Feathered Serpent, was the god who brought knowledge to the Maya.
When we talk about the Mayan gods, we know that the most important god to them was the plumed serpent, or Kukulkan. We see his image all across the Mayan world. We see it on great carved images on stone. Kukulkan is often depicted as a plumed serpent. Some would say a dragon or a snake with wings. That leads some to believe that Kukulkan may have descended from the sky.
Now the Maya were living in the jungle. The Maya knew that the snake could not fly, but this snake, this serpent, could fly. The oldest Maya histories tell that Kukulkan was the teacher of young Maya. He had chosen 8 boys in the age between 7 and 12, and he taught these 8 boys in mathematics, in astronomy, in all kind of science. And later, Kukulkan disappeared with the promise that he will return in a faraway future. These boys have become the first priests and the first teachers again for the Maya.
Some of the legends state that he appeared along the Gulf Coast on a raft of serpents, and he spread his high knowledge through that part of the country. And even today, in some of the Mayan cultures, he's revered as this great god that brought all these teachings and civilization to their part of the world. And yet no one knows who he was or where he came from.
Strangely, depictions of a winged serpent god can be found all around the ancient world. In India, the epic text, the Mahabharata, details the ancient account of sky beings, known as Nagas. Dating as far back as 2500 BC, the half-human and half-serpent entities look nearly identical to the Mayan Kukulkan. And ancient Chinese mythology from the 5th millennium BC describe flying dragons that are eerily similar to the serpent god depicted in Mesoamerica.
To the peoples that preceded the Inca in Peru, similar ideas were put upon characters like Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, who was this wisdom bringer, sometimes said to have come down from the sky world, and once again bringing the rudiments of civilization to the peoples of Central America.
There is a common thread among many ancient cultures of the Americas when it comes to plumed serpent god. The Cherokee, for example, believe that time, their calendar, is based upon a rattlesnake that they can see in the night sky, perhaps a constellation. So the idea of a serpent or a snake or a dragon is common among many ancient cultures, and not just the Maya or the Mesoamericans.
The snake is the giver of wisdom in so many cultures, and it gives the tools of civilization, working with metals, working with other instruments, certain knowledge, certain aspects of life, and that it really gives this knowledge to certain people, and that he places these people in a position whereby, from their social position, they are able to give this to the rest of their culture.
All these cultures were far apart from each other, sometimes by thousands and thousands of miles. So how is it possible that all these societies came up with not similar, but identical stories? Was it really flying snakes or gods that were snakes? Of course not. It was misunderstood technology. Some types of vehicles were witnessed that descended from the sky, out of which people came, astronauts, that instructed people of different cultures in different societies in certain scientific disciplines. This is not coincidence. This is evidence for ancient alien encounters in the remote past. There is no other way.
Can the ancient creation myths and legends of flying serpent gods really be interpreted as factual accounts of extraterrestrial visitors, as ancient astronaut theorists contend? And if so, might such celestial travelers have given the Maya both the tools and the knowledge to help advance their civilization? Perhaps further evidence can be found by looking at the Mayans' very profound connection to the stars. In the Mexican state of the Yucatan lie the ruins of the ancient Mayan city of Chichen Itza. Here, in the 10th century, the Maya built what has become known as the El Caracol Observatory.
It has 4 doors on the bottom that can be used as observation points, and it had a number of windows